Do you think there's a difference between meaning and happiness?
Yes, there is. I mean, having meaning in your life would be a source of happiness. But if, I'm thinking, a lot of people would say, oh yeah, those are the same. But there are times when happiness is thought is like a distraction, or there's no work to it. I just want to feel good about it, but I don't want to go through anything. If that's your sense of happiness, then that doesn't really equate. But when you follow your heart's desire, as John Donne would say, true happiness lies in that. But it just depends whether you've got a rather superficial, escapist view of happiness, or one in which it's really connected, as you said, Sharon, to the core of who you are.
Do you think there are kind of basic obstacles to meaning? As we look at kind of our search for that, what are some of the things that we put in the way of finding more meaningful lives? Is it a matter of just what's externally out there, or is it something else?
I think there are things internally and things externally. As I said, there's a lot to counteract, and we can become easily distracted, and we sometimes like to be distracted because it can be very uncomfortable. I have seen individuals and leaders in particular who just really have struggled with being still, because it's foreign at this point to many of us. And when they are still, things surface, and a lot of those things are uncomfortable. And it's a messy process.
What might some of those things be?
Well, I think that the distractions of looking at others and saying and comparing rather than relating to people. So if I'm busy comparing myself and how do I stack up versus someone else, I can make myself feel better, at least in the short term. It can also distract me from the real work at hand, which is to really look inside and say, who am I at my essence? Do I really have a keen understanding of myself? In order to be fully present to someone, you have to push pause on the tape, and you have to make room for that other person. So I think the comparison is less healthy than the relating.
It can be a goad to, you look at somebody who you perceive as having a fulfilling life. It can be a goad to say, I need to ask that for myself. But I'm with Sharon on that. When you think, well, this is what I should be like, this is what I should feel, this is what should be my meaning, that's going to get you into trouble. And that's really more about externals. You really have to look inside to understand what the meaning is surfacing in your own life.
What do you see going on in that process? What is it that keeps us from wanting to go there?
Yeah, people really, I think about it in terms of fast food psychology or fast food spirituality. When people feel a meaninglessness in their lives, they want an answer. They want a solution. They want a weekend workshop or a book to solve that. And a lot of times I invite them to think about their lives like an iceberg. What you're aware of, your life, your worries, does this matter to anybody, is like the tip of the iceberg. And your life is like mostly underneath the water, and it's gliding along. And so be open to how your life may be much bigger than you can imagine, and to hang in with the meaningless times, because you never know what your life is really going to bring about. I was thinking Jimmy Stewart, It's a Wonderful Life. Old movie, similar message. You really never really know what you're doing right now, what it's going to add up to, how it's going to figure in. And then there are many times when you're going along and you think that it's very meaningful what you're doing, and then you wake up one day and go, wow, this hasn't been my true contribution. It's been something totally unexpected.
Just to build on that, I think that it's very easy to get distracted, and we don't like to feel uncomfortable, and part of this journey requires us being uncomfortable in order to have that examination. It's so important to the process of really understanding who we are at our essence and what we stand for and what our values are that enable us to live our lives.